Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for round two of the CDP Advanced Marketing Program Great Reveal. So last November, with a lot of fanfare, we announced that the CDP Advanced Program was back. It was ready to go. I think we had about 150 agents that were on that particular Zoom, and the response was amazing. We had, I think, right out of the gate, about 60 agents took advantage of a very special offer that we presented. And most, if not all of their websites are live right now. They're taking advantage of the marketing program. And we felt that now with the new year, it was time to once again reintroduce it, because just in the fourth quarter of last year, we had easily 200, if not more, OGs return to the membership. OGs are, I affectionately refer to prior CDPs that were CDP back in the day, way before I acquired it last year. And so the OGs, which can stand for old guard or original gangster, you take your pick. A lot of them came flooding back in that final quarter ago. Most of these folks, if not all of them, don't even know that the advanced program is back. So we knew it was time to do something like this. Now, we're also going to be announcing, probably within the next week or so, we will be sending out an email to everyone that's in the advanced program. We're doing a very, very special training session so that you can get very, very accustomed and familiar with all of the available features, what you can do on your own, what you need some help with, and how we're there to support you. Before we get to showing off the websites and the marketing, and I'm going to turn it over to my partners here, I wanted to kind of give you a quick overview, because we are the vanguard. We really are the vanguard for the new CDPE movement. And we're still very much in the minority. A large percentage of our industry still hasn't woken up to the fact that foreclosures never went away. And if you're like me, and if you're a believer that what we're doing has a tremendous need, and even more so in the months to come, you may have engaged in some conversations with folks. In fact, they may have turned heated and into some arguments. And I want to share some of the things that I share with them to kind of maybe equip you to kind of get them to understand where it is that you're coming from. Not once since I acquired the CDP back in May of last year have I ever used the term crash to describe what I see coming. I have not used that language. I don't believe we're headed toward a crash. Now, you can, what is a crash? Well, let me kind of quantify it. I do not believe we're going to get anything near what we experienced in 2008, 9, and 10. I just don't see it. Now, this time around, it's going to be different. The numbers may not be as great, but here's what I like to say. For that person going through foreclosure, they don't care how many other folks are going through foreclosure. Just one person going through it is enough for them. So this is what I wanted to share with you. This came out, Adam. This is my favorite source for foreclosure stats. You go to adamdata.com, and this was a pretty cool little thing that said the top 10 zip codes for foreclosure in the country, and of the top 10, 8 are in Ohio. Congratulations, Ohio. And we got Chicago mixed in there, and we got New Jersey mixed in there. So here's one of my questions to you. Anybody here from Ohio? Because I think we need to get some CDPE classes in Ohio like yesterday. So if you're not quite sure where you stand in stats, go to adamdata.com. This came out recently as well, and it showed that for—
Hey, I'm sorry, Tony.
Yeah.
A comment saying, can you show your screen? I just want to make sure everybody can see it. Can everybody see Tony's screen? Okay. I just saw that comment come in. Okay. My bad.
Okay. All right. So I'm good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So this one here shows that foreclosure activity in 2022 doubled over 2021. Now, this is a really cool graph, because you see where 2009 and 2010, this was when there was just the worst of the worst, and it trended down considerably. We are nowhere near those numbers, nor do I anticipate being there. But look, we're already starting to catch up to pre-pandemic numbers. So if all we did was go back to pre-pandemic numbers, we still have a significant ways to go. Now, the other day, I got into a really good conversation with an executive of a mortgage company. And the argument that he was using was the same one that everybody uses. Well, because we're in the highest equity position that we have ever been as a country, 50-something% of Americans have equity in their property and everything else. And I said, okay, I completely agree. There's significantly more equity now than there ever was in 2008, 9, and 10. But this was my retort. Let me see how you think I did. I said, let me ask you something. Does having equity equate to being able to pay your mortgage? Because if that's the case, ask the several thousand people that were laid off from Wells Fargo just a month, no, but what, a week and a half ago? How many of them do you think might be struggling to make their next mortgage payment? Why does everyone equate sitting on supposed equity to being able to pay your bills? Because once you're unemployed, you're not going to be able to refinance. You're not going to be able to get a home equity line of credit. So what is access to all this equity going to mean if you still have to move? And this is what we're trying to get across. We're not just about short sales. We know that there's a ton of people right now in foreclosure that have equity but can't afford to stay. And these are the ones that we have to engage. These are the ones that we have to reach out to because they need help. They need someone to guide them. And then when I told this executive, I go, this time around, it's not going to be driven by bad loans. We know that. It's going to be driven by the economy. And look, it's scary how much of the stuff that I predicted has already come true. But I said, wait till after the first of the year, and you're going to see a ton of layoffs start to be announced. Are you guys following the news? You hear about Google cutting 12,000, about Amazon laying off 18,000, about Microsoft. This is what's going on. Pay attention to the employers in your market areas. That's what counts. How many employers in your market area are starting to let people go? When they can't find work, 62% of American households live paycheck to paycheck. And a lot of them don't even make it from one paycheck to another. They go to the paycheck advance places just to get them by. People are using their credit cards like there's no tomorrow. People have drained their savings accounts. Inflation is still a major factor. Right now, I'm starting to consider maybe rewarding people for production with cartons of eggs because I need to give them something of significant value.
Give them gas stoves too.
What's that?
I said, give them gas stoves as well too. Yeah, they got to cook the eggs somehow, right now. Yeah.
So I think we all know, and I know I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but if you are, if any way, shape, or form on the fence about what it is that we're doing here and your need, their need, and your place in this whole thing, have no doubts or reservations. In fact, what you should be doing right now is being more aggressive than you've ever been before, because it is an uncrowded marketplace out there. What's happening is, and I kind of boldly made another prediction about 2 weeks ago, I said the CDPE will probably be the fastest growing private designation in real estate in 2023, because people are waking up, and all of these executives and all of these big companies that won't take my call right now, won't respond to my inquiries, they are going to be reaching out to us when they realize that the situation has changed. And I'm sure you're seeing those changes in your marketplace right now. All right, that's my soapbox speech. We know there's a need for us and everything else. Let me introduce the individuals behind what we're doing here. How many of you were OGs back in the day? You guys were part of the original movement. Fantastic. I'm seeing some hands there. How many of you were OGs and you had the advanced package from before? Okay, great. So this time around, because let me kind of take you on a quick story here. When I acquired the CDP, the first thing is let's bring it back, let's start training, let's start teaching. But I knew from the very beginning, I had to reintroduce the CDP Advanced because people were asking, they were demanding for it. But I knew that I could not do it alone. And I wanted to make sure that we brought you the very best product. So I have surrounded myself with a team that is the very best at what they do. And I'm going to start with Michael Tridhard. Michael, where are you, buddy?
I'm right here, man. How are
So
you?
Michael is like, you know, a guru, a coach on all things that have to do with social media, marketing, and everything else. I knew that the anchor to the advanced program had to be the website. The website is critical because as you're marketing, as you're sending out your marketing pieces, you want to be able to direct people to a place that is all about what they're going through. Trust me, we all have websites. We all have our traditional websites. We all have the ability to have customers search for properties in our homes. But someone that's in foreclosure, someone that's losing their home, they could care less about watching pictures of you, videos of you, walking side by side with your loved one on the beach, being able to show IDX properties. They're desperate, they need solutions. And this website is amazing. And I have been so pleased with the responses that we're getting. So Michael, take it away. You're showing off Debbie's site, right?
I am. Yes.
You know,
Thank you, Tony.
Debbie was the first one. I mean, I got to give her props.
Yeah.
Because we no sooner sent the first email out that said the CDP Advance is back. She didn't even wait to the Zoom to actually keep it out. She was the very first person to sign up, and her website looks amazing. Go for it.
Yeah, she was like, whatever it is, I'm in because I trust you and I trust the program, which is great. I'm going to give you guys one other crazy stat that I heard today. I saw this on social media. Somebody said that on average, Americans are spending $72 more a month on their grocery bills. And my response to that was, that's fake. Put a 2 in front of that because I don't think we're spending $72 a month. I think we're spending a lot more, right? So, I mean, we're getting crunched in a lot of different spots. And as Tony just said, we can look at the stats and numbers all day long, but we know in reality that there's going to be some people in some tough situations. And that's where CDPE is going to be able to step in and help them with that. And what we designed, what we wanted to create and what we actually created was a platform for you to share your expertise with the consumers, let them know that you are there to help them in one of their biggest times of needs. And we also have designed a site that has lead capture opportunities for you throughout not just the homepage, but throughout the whole site itself. And so as you guys go in and you start to take a look at some of the sites that have been posted in the chat, you can click on them, you can go down through them, you can go to all the interior pages, the FAQ, everything else. We designed this with Tony in mind that we wanted to be able to go out and create a platform that all of the advanced users could use and have success with in terms of communicating with their clients. That is our forte as a website design company. We've been doing this for years and years, and you're going to hear shortly from Jeff and then Jordan from my team talking about the SEO capabilities of the sites, and then talking about all of the incredible information that we have in the back office. And then the most important part, in my opinion, the part that I'm really excited to see and let Brandon share with you, is all of the print materials that we talked about in November that were just on the verge, on the cusp of being ready. Now they're all ready, and you guys have access to that. So Brandon's going to share that with you guys here in a bit. But we wanted something that not only looks great, but also performs. And so we have the ability for these sites to be ranked very easily and quite high within the Google search rankings with just a couple techniques. And I'm going to turn it over to Jeff Kale, who's my business partner on the website design company. And he's going to talk to you a little bit about the SEO capabilities of the site. So I'm going to stop the share. And Jeff, I see you there. Are you ready?
Yep, I am all set. Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. Gosh, I'm having a great morning this morning. I'm here in Hawaii, and I woke up and I had 2 home seller leads, one in La Mesa, California. I know there's someone here in San Diego, and another one in Del Mar. So, and that's just by going to sleep, waking up and having leads, because our websites are capable of doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you what can be done. So first of all, can you all see my whiteboard okay?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, perfect. So let me kill that. So what you want to do, this is a lead funnel for your CDPE. And so there's 4 levels to the lead funnel. I'm going to keep this really simple. At the top level, we want to generate awareness that you even exist. And how do you do that? One great way is SEO, search engine optimization. Think of that as getting to page 1 of Google, okay? That you could do social media. Video is super hot. You should be using video. Or you could do PPC, pay per click, which is getting to page 1 of Google for free. What we focus on is free, and that's SEO. You want to get people to your website. The next thing you want to do is you want to convert them. You want to have great lead conversion, and that's what our website does, tied in with the marketing. And then, you know, these other levels, nurturing the lead, right? That comes through the back end with what Brandon's going to talk about. The 4th level is you maintaining loyalty. I guess is a little bit difficult to ask for referrals, you know, for in this kind of situation, but you do want to maintain loyalty that can lead to other business. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to show you what can be done. And I've been hearing, I don't know, probably for the past 5 years, I hear websites are dead. You hear it on Inman. Oh, websites are dead. Websites are dead. And by the way, that is mostly true. Most websites are dead. We've been creating websites that are very different because they look great, but they can be found on Google. And I'm going to show you a couple of examples. This is one of my websites. And think about this. What you want to do when you're looking for business is you want to start to rank hyper local for a community. So in San Diego, I'm not going to try and rank San Diego home foreclosure. I'm going to pick a smaller city. So this is what I've done for home values. So Carlsbad home values. And if we look here, here are all the ads. And the big boys are here, right? You have Redfin, Zillow, Realtor, Rocket, Coldwell, and then there's me for free. Okay, and that's what I've done in San Diego. I've done it in Oceanside, same situation here. But watch this. You start small and then you want to get big. So now on the county-wide here, sell your San Diego home. And here's the competition. 339 million other search results trying to get to page 1. And I'm right here for free with my phone number. I have people who they call me. They don't even go to my website. I don't care if they go to my website, as long as they pick up the phone and call me, call, text, whatever, right? So I've been doing this for a while. We started with the CDPE website, and I'm going to tell you, it took me 3 weeks to get to page 1 for this search term right here. Save your Hawaii home from foreclosure. Okay. Now I went statewide. I could have done Honolulu and I would have been there even faster. I went statewide because there's no one else doing it. So you could go big right away with this. And so if we look right here, here's the competition. Look at this, guys. There's nothing here. You know, 2,940,000. You saw him beating people out at 300 million. And all of these people right here, where it says ad, they're paying to get to page 1. And I'm here in the first position for free with my website in 3 weeks. Okay, I'm going to show you one more and then I'm going to stop. Here's another search term, just save your Hawaii home. And I'm right here at the very top for free. So that's what can be done. Now, full disclosure here. Some areas are going to be easier than others. So keep in mind, this could take a little bit of time, but it can be done. You have a website with those capabilities. So that's all I have. I'm going to turn it over to, I guess, back to Michael.
Well, and then I'm going to give it right back over to Jordan, but I want to share something. So I'm looking in the comments, and Brandon's going to share a little bit with video scripts. But guys, we did this webinar last in November. That same month, something went online that is a complete game changer, and it's actually going to be part of my newsletter going out tomorrow. And that is Chat GPT. I don't know if anybody's had a chance to use it, but it's insane, right? It's artificial intelligence. It's created by a company called OpenAI. Elon Musk was one of the original donors to the program. But if you do this, and I put that into the chat, if you go out to Chat GPT and you ask really good questions, it will give you amazing answers. And one of the things that you guys can do with your website is you can create blog posts, right? You can create vlogs with videos on there. So you could go in and ask Chat GPT, give me 10 video topics about avoiding foreclosure. And then it'll list it all out, right? And everybody goes, okay, that's good. But I still got to do the video. Then the second question you ask is, give me a video script for whatever that topic was, video number 2, whatever that topic was. It will then create the video script for you. It's insane. It's insane. High school kids and college kids are going to cheat their rear off. I'm just going to say that, right? But as a business professional, we're going to be able to go in and save a tremendous amount of time and energy from not having to brainstorm. Couple that with what you're going to see from Brandon and Jordan here shortly, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be unstoppable because you're going to be so much more efficient than any of the other agents that are out there.
Jordan, Michael, if I could interject before Jordan comes on, I just also, for the sake of full disclosure, because I've been a real estate agent longer than I've been the owner of the CDPE, and what our websites are, what they do is they're very SEO friendly. Yes. Based on its design, based on its feature. There is never a guarantee that your website will go at the very, very top of the searches, unless, of course, you're willing to pay. But it doesn't matter how much you're willing to pay. Well, let's be real. Most of us don't have a lot to spend on SEO advertising, enough to make a difference. So there is work that needs to happen on your part. There is involvement that needs to happen on your part, but you're starting with a platform that is conducive to being picked up by the search engines. The other question I wanted to also tackle is your domain name. You're going to own your domain name. We are not going to register your URL or your domain name for you. In fact, here's a tip. Never let anybody register your domain name for you, because if they put themselves as the admin, you do not have control over your domain name. Make sure you always have control over your domain name. Now, people ask me, what's a good domain name? I go, well, I'm not like a vending machine, but avoiding foreclosure, you're going to see a lot of save, avoid, foreclosure. Now, people say, how broad should I be? Well, if you get too broad, maybe, you don't want to maybe be for one specific city, but maybe an area, a county. You can have multiple domain names pointing to your website. So just keep in mind that the sooner we get going on your website, within a day or two, you should have had picked out a domain name. Maybe you still have one from back in the day. But it's basically you sitting down at GoDaddy with a pen and paper and just saying, I wonder if this one's available. I wonder if this one's available. And don't use something like .org just because .org is available. .org is nonprofit. You're not a nonprofit, are you? At least not deliberately. So that's just wanted to point those things out.
Yeah, definitely try to stick with the .coms for sure.
Hold on one second. I just really want to tag on to that. So what Tony is saying about the domain name and all, we don't want you to have to fumble through it and figure it out on your own. We'll provide you with video training. We'll show you exactly what to choose, so you're not alone figuring this out.
Yep. All right. So we're going to turn this over to Jordan. And what we want to impress upon you is how easy this is, right? With the training that's being provided in the back office. So when you guys order your site, or you already have your site, you can log into the back office and you're going to be able to see some of those elements from Jordan and then Brandon. And more importantly, too, we have training that is coming up. That this is more of a presentation. We're answering questions. We're actually going to get into the nitty gritty of the training. So we're going to go in, allow you guys to kind of kick the tires, open the hood, look at the engine, do everything, make sure you're comfortable with going out and using the site, and also all of the marketing materials and print materials that are being provided by Brandon in the back office. So Jordan, Go ahead and take it away and share a little bit on what we have in store for them.
All right, you guys can hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Let me share my screen real quick. All right. You should be able to see the website, right?
We're good.
Okay. So I am going to give you a quick little tour of the back end, just to kind of show you what it can do and how we have things set up. And then I'll turn it over to Brandon. He'll show you the marketing side of things. I'm going to go a little bit quicker over this than last time, because last time we didn't have all the marketing ready. And this time we have it all set up. So I want to make sure Brandon has enough time to go over and share all that. All right. So when you first log into your website, you're going to be taken to this page. This is called the dashboard. This is kind of, the grand central station, the hub of all back end things. So you can see here, if you ever get lost, we made it really easy. Just go back to your dashboard and you'll find what you need. So we have, some shortcut links here that take you to, pages that you might commonly, need to access. Got a little message from Tony. We have the CDPE resources up here that you can click and be taken to. And then we also have all of the marketing that Brandon's going to be covering, all accessible through the dashboard. We have a crash course. So this is just like, getting started. So when you first get your website, this is a great place to start. And we're going to be constantly adding to this. It's just, helpful training videos. And then if you ever have a problem, you ever have a question, just go ahead and open a ticket. You can just click the, open the ticket button here. And, we'll help you out. So you also have some customization options. So for example, if I go to the home page, we can see this big banner image. So you can choose any of these ones that you want. So for example, right now I have the calculator. If I go ahead and select this. So all I did was I selected the image I wanted to use, and then I just hit save. So when I refresh the page, it'll automatically change that image for you. You don't need to mess with any code. You don't need to go through a whole cumbersome interface. It's just select what you want, hit save. It's as simple as that. You have a new image. So you can kind of personalize it a bit. We also have an option for you to use a background video if you want. And it's the same thing as the images. Just from this little drop-down menu, just choose the video that you want to use, hit save. And then bam, just like that, you have a background video on your homepage. And we will be adding more options to both. So right now we start you off with 8. We'll be adding some more options. You can also customize a few other things. Under agent settings, this is just kind of where, your profile info is coming from. We set this all up for you. So when you order a website, you have to fill out a very brief intake form. It takes you a couple minutes, really. And some of that information includes all of this. And we go ahead and fill all this in for you, okay? We make sure your image is sized properly. We set all that up for you. You can add your social media icons. So you'll see right here in the upper right, we have Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. That's because in the back end, the Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram social media profiles have a link. So the front end will adapt to whatever you put in the back end. So for example, if I remove the YouTube link, the YouTube icon will disappear from the front end. So whatever social you have, you can enter in here and it'll display perfectly without you having to mess with anything. We start you off with some blog posts. You can come in here and add your own and you can edit them. You know, so creating a blog post, you know, we talked about that for SEO, you know, give it a title, you know, put in what you want. You can add, you know, images, you know, videos, all of that. We'll do more of a deep dive into this on our website training webinar on February 6th. More details on that soon. And honestly, I think that's really it. I mean, that's the important stuff. I really want to turn it over to Brandon so he can show the marketing. I want to make sure we have enough time for that.
Yeah, absolutely, Jordan. In fact, let me give an introduction for Brandon, but I hope that you guys see how easy this is to use. And what Jordan was doing was live, okay? It wasn't recorded. And you have to understand, if you've ever been in this business, if there are certain products that you hold your breath when you're doing a presentation live, and you're praying that everything goes like it's supposed to, but just the ease of being able to go from static photos to video. Your website can actually look different every month, and more are going to be added. So we wanted to make this as realtor friendly as we possibly could. And it's also, you can see that the website is clean, it's not cluttered, it doesn't go into a bunch of content that's not important to them. There's also a lead generation component. If you scroll down there, Jordan, you'll see that there's a place where they can ask for an ebook to be sent to them, and it lead captures them about the most common foreclosure scams. And we felt that this was important to get them to take some action. The video just above that is a message from me, basically saying, as the owner of the CDPE, I'm well aware that since you're on this website, it's probably because you're going through a difficult time right now. And I wanted to convey a message of hope, that foreclosure is not the only option, that the individual whose website they're on has been especially trained and prepared to help them in their situation, and that they should reach out to you as quickly as possible. So we've tried to incorporate as many things as we can to make this a very interactive lead generating website. Now, how do you get people to the website? Well, a lot of it has to do with the traditional marketing that you put out. So one of the other key components to the old CDPE advanced program was the amazing flyer and blog posts and email script and all of these pieces that were just magically available to you every time a new month rolled around. And I'm so honored to have Brandon on my team. Brandon and I go way back. Brandon was a CDP instructor and will be a CDP instructor again. Brandon actually purchased the sister designation, the CIAS. Some of you may have been a CIAS, Certified Investor Agent Specialist. He purchased that designation shortly after I purchased the CIAS, and he's going to be rolling that out very soon. But he is a marketing wizard, and he is the guy that we have tapped to provide these tools for you on a consistent basis. Brandon, you're up.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate that. I see a couple familiar faces on here, so that's amazing. Speaking of OG, right? So Jordan, thanks for showing that off, Jeff and Michael. Like any hot rod though, right? You need a steering wheel. And as Tony was alluding to, we have to have the ability to do a couple things when it comes to both lead generation and nurturing. If I could get Jordan to stop share screen, or whoever has it last, that would be awesome.
Yeah, one sec. Also, because there's some other questions about the website coming in still, so I'll go back and answer those after Brandon is done, okay?
Thank you, Jordan. That's exactly what I was about to say.
I'm sure we'll have some extra time when he's done. I just want to make sure that we give him a chance to cover what he needs to cover.
Thanks, Jordan. So what I want to just kind of touch on a little bit with the rest of you, and I know Jeff did a good job of his funnel is a little prettier than mine, but the concept is the same. And really what it boils down to is some things that we probably don't do a very good job of. And that's one, nurturing our database, and that's two, getting more people into our database. And there's several things that we have found historically, and back to the days when we had this advanced kit. I mean, it was great as a real estate agent. It was, you know, my job as a real estate agent is to go find business and make business happen, not spend all day just doing certain things, right? And so the goal with the advanced kit was it gave us some plug and play material that was relevant as far as a topic and content for what was going on in the market at that particular moment in time. And so what we've been able to do, Tony and the rest of our group, is we're bringing that back, but we're bringing it back at a high level. So how many of you have people in your database, right? And here's a trick question. How often are you touching that database? That's one thing, right? And then how are we getting and meeting new people? Well, in a very competitive space, most real estate agents are using the same topics of conversation there, and they should be, right? You guys should be experts in your local area market, so you should know exactly those numbers that are going on in your market, but that's a very red ocean. And so what we want to be able to do is to benefit from people you're working with. And I want to just give you some statistics that I think are important. Did you know that 6% of your database should be buying or selling real estate with you every year? So that's, you got 100 people, that should be 6 deals for you every year. 4 of those 100 people, or 4% of your database, should be referring business to you. So I don't know how you keep track of your metrics, but these metrics can't be achieved unless you're working both the lead generation side and the nurturing side of the database. Now, I'm not here to try and promote Keller Williams. I just want you to know I've been part of Keller Williams for the last 9 years, and I'm in the leadership role here. And they just did a survey of just over 17,000 licensees. And did you know that an agent that has more than 210 healthy contacts, and what a healthy contact is you have an accurate name, you have their address, you have an accurate email, and you have an accurate contact phone number, the average agent in this survey grossed $160,000 a year. Now, it wasn't just by default because they had 210 plus contacts. It was because they purposefully went out of their way to nurture and stay in contact with that database a minimum of 48 times. And again, most of us don't do that. And one of the reasons why we don't, because I can tell you firsthand how time-consuming social media can be, how time-consuming putting together exactly what Jordan, Jeff, and Michael just demonstrated in a website. If you've ever tried to manage a website, it's a full-time job. It can be, especially if you don't know what you're doing. That's just the website side. Now, how about the images? How about the content? Is it ideal for someone to stop and read your post? Is it ideal for someone to want to reach out and say, hey, can you help me? And so what we want to do is we want to take this advanced marketing program to the next level and help you drive the people that you want to talk to back into your world, whether it be via the website that's been created for you or right straight back to your email, however you go about doing your marketing. The content is going to be like no other. Here's some samples of what we've done so far, just some of the topics. Our December program was foreclosure alternatives. Again, that's the backbone of the CDPE, but there are also topics of conversation that are a little bit more generalized to get your whole audience to be responsive to you. And you can just see kind of here, what we want to do is we want you to stay top of mind. We want to be able to give you the copy and the content to move forward. So every month you get a branded topic with copy and content that you can use on a lot of different levels. And every month in this kit, in this marketing campaign, you're going to get a letter to your sphere of influence. You're going to get a postcard template. You're going to get a 3 to 4 page report. You're going to get a flyer that goes with it. You're going to get 6 or 7 social posts and advertisings. You're going to get an interactive e-magazine. You're going to get a text and a video script. You're going to get copy and paste stuff for your blog because you have a blog on your website. So you have the ability to add content to it frequently. a press release. You're going to get an email template. I mean, you can just see all of the items on your screen there. The cool thing about most of these items, especially the letter to the sphere, your video, text, all of that, it's downloadable as a Word document. So you have the flexibility to add and edit to whatever your program is, which I think is amazing. As far as the flyer and the report, this is an example of the January report. And you can see that there is a lot of good content. And if you can look in the top right corner, all of this is editable. Believe it or not, it's all editable, not that you can eat it editable. It's editable as in you can alter it all through Canva. And you can create a free account in Canva. So whether you're doing it, you have an assistant or a virtual assistant, all of these things will be delivered to you to download so that you can edit these and get it out to those people that are hopefully in your sphere. So this is an example of the 4-page report that you get. And as far as the social post goes, here's some examples of some of that social media marketing. The cool thing about all of these items is you also get a calendar that you can download with a guide on when and how to post or send an email or a text throughout the month. Again, we don't want you to have to overthink this, but more importantly, we don't want you to send it all out necessarily at the same day. It's really, really good and strategic to be able to space this stuff out every month. So this is an example of the quality of the marketing material that you're going to get. And again, it's a lot of great broken down content that you'll have a lot of flexibility to do a lot of different things with. I want to answer any questions that anybody might have right now at the moment. What do we have going on there, Michael? Anything?
Let's look here.
Yeah, let me
Go ahead,
chime
Todd.
in. What I love is how you have made this broader, even though that our primary purpose is to reach out to distressed homeowners. Certain elements of this are also transferable and usable for the rest of their market. So they're actually kind of getting a 2-for-1 on some of these topics and pieces.
Yeah, and I think to add to that, which is important here, is the credibility that comes with it. You know, I think being transparent today is extremely important. You know, another statistic we didn't hit on earlier, just even in the distressed world, is 16% of anyone who had a mortgage in 2021 and 22.
I said, but the only way I can get you these videos is if we make.
There we go. Gotta love the mute. You got to remember 16% of the mortgages during COVID, they went into forbearance. And you have a lot of people who didn't make payments in the last couple of years where they tacked on the payments and the late fees to the bottom line of their mortgage. So, you know, there's a lot of people out there who need to be educated and know that there's someone out there that they can trust. So a lot of this content is going to be geared specific to help you get through that process. Want you to know from your dashboard, you have a little spot over here. So whether you're currently logged into your dashboard or not, it's a real one simple click of the button that'll get you there. The first thing you're going to go to the first time that you log in, you're going to see a landing page like this. And one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to get started because you're brand new, or this is also a good place for you to log in. And I want to just let everybody know there are two different operating systems between the website and your marketing kits. And what'll happen the very first time you log into the marketing campaign, the monthly marketing campaign, is you're going to have to opt in and pay a one-time dollar charge to get into the system. So there's really no way around this. So we just want to be completely transparent that you'll have to do that. And once you're logged in, you're going to get an email. Once you pay that dollar, you're going to get in your login credentials for that system. And this is what that email is going to look like. So sometimes it'll come in your spam, sometimes it might show up in your promotions, but this is what you're going to need to pay attention to. And from there, you're simply going to log in. This is exactly what your login screen looks like when you log into the monthly kits. And this is your dashboard when you log in. Now, here's what's cool. We started this in December. And so even though you might be signing up now, well, you should be signing up now, the monthly kits will remain in your membership. So as we progress through these months, you sign up today, you're already going to have 3 other months of kits at your discretion that you can leverage and use. So I think the cool thing about this membership is, again, we're going to create a huge asset and library for you to leverage.
That's,
All right,
that's
Tony.
awesome. Real
Yep.
quick, this question comes up all the time. This CDP Advanced program is exclusively for active CDPEs. So when you have this many agents on the call right now, there may be an OG that hasn't come back into the fold. And please understand, folks, for a year and a half, I did everything I could to reach out to the OGs, say, guys, I'll honor the old $99 a year price. If you're in my database showing that you were a former CDP, all you have to do is come back. But I had to cut that off at some point, and technically it was the end of the year. But if you're an OG, somehow you missed those emails, you never came back or anything else, reach out to us at support@cdpe.com, support@cdpe.com, and we're going to take care of you. We're going to extend that offer to you, because you do have to be a CDPE to sign up, not necessarily to sign up, but you can't go live with the package until you are. And then let me address, if you've never ever been a CDP and are interested in getting the CDPE, we can work parallel. We can get you signed up for the course, either the online on demand or live if you're in one of the areas where we have a live class. And while you're going through the course and you can knock it out in a few hours, we can be building your website and getting all that ready to go live. I think I'm going to turn it back over to Jordan. If there's any questions for Brandon. Patricia had a question, any testimonials from active current users? I think Debbie, if Debbie is still on the call right now, Debbie gave us a wonderful testimonial.
She's on there.
Yeah, to us, we had a high bar, and that was, can we make this program as good as the former CDP Advanced? And I think, well, I know that we have exceeded all expectations, and what we hear all the time is this exceeds anything that was available before.
Hey,
So
Tony, real quick, I don't necessarily have some testimonials completely finished, but I will tell you what we did before we went live with this in December is we spent 3 months prior beta testing it with 17 other agents, and they all went from an average of a 16 to 20% open rate on their email to an excess of 70%, just because of the topic. People want to know about certain things outside of just what their house value is worth, right? More importantly, they know neighbors and they have friends. They go to networking. They go places. The more you can plant a seed that you can help someone who might be in a position of distress, that goes a long way. So it's again, it's all about consistently getting the message and unique messages in front of people.
Yep. Well, I think people have been asking us, hey, you had me at hello. How much is this thing already? I want to get going. I want to get started. So who wants to take that? You want to take that, Michael, or Jordan, you want to go ahead and take them over to CDP Advanced?
I'll take it. I've got it pulled up right here. So hopefully you guys can see my screen. But basically cdpadvanced.com is the site where you can go out and purchase the advanced program. And there's a message, of course, from Tony. You see the limited time offer. And this is going to be for the first 100 orders. And I think we had some people order earlier. So let me refresh just to see. Yeah, so we've already had orders already come in. So we're down to 36 spots left. And like we saw earlier, this is going to include the website. It's going to include the back office and all the resources being provided for the website. And then everything that Brandon just shared as well, too, with all of your marketing materials. So the value stack of this far exceeds the cost. You know, it's $2,500 worth of value in the back office with everything that you get. And to order it, all you need to do is basically come down, start the process here. We simplified the whole process. I mean, it's basically you order it, then there's a short little form to fill in, and your site's going to be delivered to you as promptly as possible. Now, when a bunch of sites do come in, it's not going to be immediate. It does take a couple days for it to be created, and Jordan can talk about that, but we'll get it to you pretty quickly. And then all you need to do at that point is also get the domain name, which, you know, we gave you some instructions, some assistance on what type of domain name to go out and get. But if you struggle with that, which I know some people do, then we can help you with that. You can even ask Chat GPT. We talked about that earlier. That would be a great question to ask. What are some great foreclosure domain names? You know, and they'll come up with a bunch of different ideas. And that'll
Michael,
be kind
if
of
I may, I just want,
Sure.
because again, you know, we're big on transparency. Nothing hurts me more than when somebody misunderstands and I take responsibility for maybe not, you know, projecting the information correctly. There's a one-time setup fee, and the first 100 now down to 36.
Yep.
We've slashed that from normally 297 to 147. That is one time. And then there is an ongoing monthly fee. That monthly fee will start about 14 days after you initiate the order, which is more than enough time if you're cooperating with us and giving us what we need to get you live and up and running. And that is $197 per month. Now, I understand it is an investment, but when you look at the bundle, when you look at the value of what you're getting, if you try to create any of these items on your own, I don't know what your time is worth, but I'm sure it's worth more than $15, $20 an hour. It's no comparison, and it is turnkey. You know, when the January items were ready, they just magically appeared in your dashboard. And then from there, you are ready to download them, open up Canva, and add your beautiful photo and everything on there. So that is the special. Now we're down to 33. And what other, I know Debbie's chiming in with some great feedback there. Debbie is someone that has never stopped doing short sales. In fact, Debbie, you're probably working on several short sales right now, right? Well, she gets unmuted. By the way,
Yes.
folks, we have a private Facebook group. I hope all of you are already in our private Facebook group, because I am so happy with the way it is now coming to life. The CDPs from all across the country are chiming in, supporting each other, answering questions. And it brings me back to another time. And I says, you know what? Our movement is strong, it's back, and it's growing. Debbie, go ahead.
I closed 3 last year. I rolled 4 over into this year, and I just got a brand new one. But interestingly, there are people that just don't know what to do. And so I'm getting the calls from people saying, I'm in foreclosure. I just got a notice, but I want to keep my home. And so, you know, I'm helping them too. So it is just incredible. And I take them to the website. And like I just said in my comment, there is no way I could create these materials for this. And it's less than the cost of one short sale in a year. I mean, like less than a third of what you'd make on a short sale. So I really encourage you. And this stuff is such quality. It's awesome.
Thank you, Debbie, so
Debbie.
very much. Guys, just remember, we're working 3 different approaches. The CDP has always stood for helping as many people stay in their home as possible. Yes, we don't make any money on that, but the rewards far exceed anything we could have made monetarily from it. When they cannot stay in the property, we want them to help them exit with dignity. And the one twist this time around is, in the old days, for every 10 foreclosures, 7 were underwater, right? This time it's probably reversed. For every 10 foreclosures, 7 have equity, at least for now. That's changing pretty rapidly. So why not be equipped to do both? These folks that have equity and are losing their home need someone to list it as a regular sale and get them out from underneath this. This is why you need the product that we offer, the website, so you can reach out to them in a variety of different ways. Any other questions you want to tackle, guys?
Patricia has her hand up.
Go ahead, Brandon.
Well,
Yes,
just-
hi. Very quickly, my question was towards Debbie. So Debbie, from those clients that you have, how many would you say came directly from the CDP website?
Well, she's
Sorry,
getting-
I forget to unmute. None of them have come from the website, but remember, this was just rolled out the beginning or the middle of December. So This month,
Oh.
and I was in Florida. So this month I have the press releases going out, the postcards. I'm doing a mailing to divorce attorneys with this website because divorces are one of the biggest areas of short sales or
For
just
sure.
regular listings. Because when those people split and neither one can keep the house, it has to be sold.
That's brilliant. Brilliant.
Thank you.
Jordan,
Jana?
anything you want to cover?
Well,
Before-
Jana's got a quick question too.
Okay.
And then, sorry, before Janet goes, and then just one final thing from Jordan and then from Jeff, and we'll hopefully get you out of here right at the top of the hour. Go ahead, Janet.
Tell me more about the handwritten note that's in the marketing campaign, please.
So everything is themed, Jana. So whatever the topic is, we spend a lot of time taking the copy that's more appropriate for whichever version of the marketing you're using. In other words, like your text and video script is way smaller, so the handwritten note is as well. Most of us don't want to write 15 paragraphs on a handwritten note, right? So it's designed for convenience so that it excites you to write it. And there's always some type of a MOFR or a call to action regarding it. So we're very sensitive that you're spending the time to write a handwritten note. So we want whatever it is that you're taking from our handwritten note copy, and you have the buy-in, right? It makes sense to you because it's going to make sense to them. And the whole idea is, I'm thinking about you, Jana, wanted to send you a quick note. And here's a quick statistic. I'm not sure if you knew this or if you know anybody in your neighborhood who might be experiencing this. I'd love to talk. And it's just as short and sweet as that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Jordan, you want to talk real quick about the training, just as a reminder of what we have coming
Yeah,
up for
well,
all of
there
the
were some
advanced
questions
users?
earlier I wanted to answer as well. We're kind of out of time now, but
That's okay. That's okay. Listen, we're recording. If someone can't stay, this is being recorded. As soon as Zoom sends me notification that it's ready, I'm going to send it out to everyone. But while we go 5 minutes over, the information is
Okay,
going to
well,
be valuable.
I have another webinar in a minute, so.
Oh, that's a different story.
Trying to-
Same here. I'm stacked.
It's okay.
So-
CDPE is priority. They'll have to wait, honestly. Real quick, so somebody asked if you could add multiple agents. I just want to make sure everybody knows the capability of these websites and has their questions answered. So you can add multiple names. So what you would do is just kind of add your name, team names, whatever, in the profile. What you could also do, though, is, I'll just show you this, this is the about page. By default, it's set up for, one person. But you can come in here and you can edit the about page and you can add a whole team of people. And I'll show you that in like 30 seconds. So you can change about Jessica to about us, or, meet the team or whatever you want. And then all you have to do is just duplicate her. And then you have a form to add other people. Change that to Tony. Right? So we'll pop in Tony's picture. And you can add their bio. So what I just did there in, I don't know, maybe like 30 seconds is now you have 2 people on the team page and you can add as many as you want. So you have full control over that. And then another thing I want to answer is somebody asked if they could add video testimonials. You can. So you could actually create a client testimonial page if you wanted to. And what you would ideally do is you would get the video testimonial and upload it to your YouTube account. Let's just pretend that this is your video testimonial. All you do is copy the link on YouTube and just put that link in here. And then just like that, you have an embedded video. And that could be any video. So one other thing is we'll cover all of this stuff more in depth. We have a training webinar that is going to be covering how to use these websites on February 6th at 2 Eastern. And we'll have official announcements and follow up on that, but definitely try to make that, because we'll be showing you all of this stuff in more detail. So I'm going to pass it on to whoever's next.
All righty, can you hear me okay? I'm gonna close it here. I've been thinking about something. I want to do something special for you guys, because I'm an educator, I'm a trainer, and I get fired up when I hear people tell me that they get good results. So I'm going to give you a challenge here. Tony, you may or may, this is not scripted, may or may not like this. So let me know, but okay, so on our training, if you show up live, the first one that gets to page 1 of Google, you got to show up live for the training. I'm going to give you a free 45-minute training session with me where I'll review all of your IT infrastructure and talk about getting you to page 1 all over. Okay, that's how serious we are about this. Now, again, not everyone's going to make it to page 1 real quickly, but I suspect that, 50, 60 people show up, or we're probably going to have, I'm going to say probably 10 or 15 people on page 1 within the first week. So that's my goal. That's my challenge, and offer to you signing up today.
Impressive. And we already made, according to Ann, she's already there.
Sorry, can I chirp in one more time?
Yep.
Since we're already a little over anyway. I also just want to let people know that this whole system that we have is not absolute. And what I mean by that is it's evergreen. We're always adding, improving, and making it better for you guys. I don't know, you probably can't read it, but that whiteboard behind me is a list of future updates that we'll be rolling out. So, adding new features, for you guys to use that have, some of them have been asked from our current users. And then also, this was mentioned in chat, but we're coming out with the Spanish version. Not sure exact dates, but in the near future. And we're not using a cheesy Google translator. Tony wants an official translation. Like, it's going to be a whole other theme, guys. Like, it's going to be, made for Spanish, properly translated. So we're in this for the long haul, and, we're always improving it.
Good. I mean, that is very true. We're constantly looking to make this better and better and better. The question over here, it says here, reply, the CDPE map. So here's what happens. There is a traditional CDPE dashboard, all right? When you all go to cdpe.com, that's where you log in for the traditional regular CDP. In other words, the regular members go in there. And one feature that we have is pretty cool. It's a CDPE map finder. And this is for CDPE to CDPE referrals. So it's agent to agent referrals. Now, for you to access the back office of your website, like you're seeing here, it's your domain name /login, right, Jordan?
Yes. So you guys can still see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll show you that real quick. So you put whatever your domain name is. Okay. And then you just put login after it. So you put your domain name /login, and then that'll take you to your login page. So it's really easy to remember. It's just your domain name and then add login to the end of it.
With a slash in between.
Yes.
Okay.
And an easy way to do that is just go to your domain name and then just, /login. What I suggest though, and I always tell people, is when your site's delivered, you'll be given a welcome email that has your login link and your login info. The first time you go to your login page, just bookmark it, okay? Bookmark it and save it. If it's your own computer, please do not bookmark or save your login on a public office computer. Only if it's your own private personal computer. I've seen that many times in market centers and stuff, is people log in on an office computer and they're, so don't do that. But if it's your own computer, bookmark the page and have the browser save the login.
Jordan, take this question, please. It was just a really good one from Jana regarding adding additional designations. The initials, you can just easily add the initials after your name in the About You area. So that part is super easy to do.
Oh,
I
yes.
also, Mhm.
So you could add the initials here. That brings up a good point, though, actually, is I'll actually add that to the whiteboard, is we'll make a separate field where you can list out designations, and we'll have those displayed just below the name.
Outstanding. Okay, great. Well, listen, this is what fluid means, and we're just about out of time. In fact, we are out of time. I want to tackle one other question. One of the easiest things to do is to find a list of people in foreclosure because it's public information. Just a little earlier today in the Facebook group, somebody said, hey, I'm in the Stellar MLS, which is Florida. How do I find foreclosures? And I asked, does Stellar have IMAP? And they said, yeah, Stellar has IMAP. I go, great, do a foreclosure search using IMAP. There's your information right there. But either you're going to the county courthouse website, or you're using a service like Land Voice or RedX or Vulcan or Atom Data. These are subscription services that you have a plethora of options as to where to go ahead and get these. Okay.
Just looking, there's 27 spots left, and I don't know if this was mentioned, but once those are gone, the sale is over. So
yeah, then
definitely
the
jump
setup
on
fee
that
becomes the regular price.
if you're on the fence. And then also the first 100, which there's only 27 less, they also get the founder status, and that's going to give them a few other perks. We're still actually kind of working out the details, but such as access to polls, suggestions, things like that. So definitely take advantage of it. But I am now 8 minutes late from our other webinar. So
ahead,
unless
Jordan.
there's any other pressing questions, I think I got to hop off here.
Well done, Jordan. All right, folks, I think we are, Jeanette just posted the link to the private Facebook group. You just go ahead and ask to join. We verify your membership, and then we can go ahead and get you added to the group. If there's questions afterward, I'm sure they are, you can email support@cdpe.com, support@cdpe.com, or you can call 954-899-5858. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Get there, folks. Don't lose out on being in the first 100 and have to pay extra for the setup fee. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now. Give us a couple of hours and we'll send the recording out to everyone that's signed up, not to the entire membership, but everyone that signed up for this class. Thank you so very much for your time and attention. And remember, foreclosure is not the only option. We'll talk soon. Take care. Bye-bye now.